Thanks for listening to That Great Mank Pod. Please do us a massive favour and subscribe to this podcast. And if you can, leave us a review on iTunes. Both are a massive help, enabling us to promote the people and the great causes we champion to a much bigger audience. If you want to get in touch, give us a follow on Twitter at Great Mank Pod and drop us a DM. Cheers.
You're listening to That Great Mank Pod, Greater Manchester's community podcast. Top one, our kid.
So my name is Emma Evans, and first and foremost, I'm an artist, but I'm a creative all-rounder, really, because there's lots of different things that I do and that I have done creatively. But first and foremost, I'm an artist. There's a lot of illustration work that I do as well, and wellness workshops. The current one that I'm working on is I'm working with the Lowry Young Artist. And then, so I host a lot of wellness classes as well. So there's a few different things that I do, but it's all under that umbrella of being creative. So when people have been asking me lately, what do I do? It's like, does an artist cover all of those areas? It's
absolutely, mate. Keep them guessing. That's what we try and do. I mean, we've worked with you and known you for ages, and you've worked with us, and you've been absolutely fantastic. Certainly, I mean, during lockdown we did a lot of stuff, or you did a lot of stuff with the young carers for us, which they absolutely loved and got loads out of, and I think you did as well, which is exactly what we're looking for. For people to actually really get involved in this, and the feedback we got was amazing.
So that's where, so I do all those, different areas of work, but the thread with all of my work, it's positive. It's always really colourful and really bright. And like during lockdown, the workshops that I was doing with you guys, they were the first kind of like workshops that I had done in terms of like wellness workshops. And I got so much from that back personally. I loved working with the young carers, and I looked forward to it every single week. They were really inspiring, and there was lots of friendships made there. And from that point, it's kind of like continued with these with the wellness workshops, and it feeds my soul when I can inspire or encourage someone to pick up a pencil and pen and make something and create something. So with my life drawing workshops that I host at Wandering Palette, there's a lot of people that come to class that have never drawn before and feel nervous about it, and then as soon as they realize what I'm about and we're relaxed and it's a relaxed atmosphere, it just feels, when they leave my class buzzing that they've created something that they're proud of, that just makes me feel good as well. So that's why I've continued with a lot of these workshops and my life drawing.
I remember having a discussion with you when we started them workshops, where you said you were going to go and do an art therapy course and things like that. And I said to you at the time, I said, Emma, you're doing it anyway.
I think that was the thing. It was always, I love my art, and I love helping people. And I just thought, I've got my fashion degree, but it's like, do I need to do a degree in art therapy? And then as time's gone on, it's just been relaxed, experiencing, and just that safe space to explore and draw and just be free-minded.
But
really.
You can't teach that to somebody, no matter how many degrees they do. You can't teach that natural affinity and compassion that you have, Well,
thank you for that, Damien. No, I absolutely love it. Like every single workshop that I do, I get something from it as well. Well, hopefully everyone else in class does, but I get a lot from that as well. So so that's it.
I mean, that needs to be a big part of it. Otherwise, you get to the point where you think, because you do put a lot. I mean, I know from experience, you put a lot of yourself into these, and if you're not getting anything back, the worst thing in the world is you won't do them.
Yeah,
and then that everyone loses out. So we say that to everyone. It's got to be about you. enjoying yourself, and and when we're getting involved, I don't want to get involved in something, and I'm going to be sat there going, "Oh, this is crap."
Oh yeah,
Because
it's got to be fun and engaging for like everybody involved in it.
Yeah.
So like each session that I do is really bespoke. So anyone that approaches me, I'll understand the audience, and then so each class will be bespoke. So none of them are repeated. But yeah, no, I just love giving people that voice. I've been working with young carers, and I'm doing like adult classes as well, and I'm enjoying the journey of those workshops.
But that's you mentioned Wandering Palette earlier, and now me and Paul know what that is, but I think you do the same there, because Wandering Palette actually gives other makers, artisans, an opportunity to expand their reach, doesn't it? So
So Wandering Palette. So for whoever's listening, so Wandering Palette.
What do you mean, whoever's listening?
So whoever's listening,
for our audience, which is huge and diverse.
To your audience, no. So Wandering Palette is a shop that I've got with my husband in Monton, in Eccles, Salford. And we created this shop. Well, the concept was from our walks to Tesco's on a Friday night for a bottle of wine and some nice crisps, and we just wish that we could get a nicer bottle of wine local with nicer crisps. And that conversation expanded, and then Wandering Palette happened. So this is like 15 months later now. But when we opened up the shop, it was, neither of us just wanted it to be a shop. It was always going to be, we wanted it to be a safe place for the community, selling good quality local products, but also a place where people can come and sit and have a drink on their own if they want to. It's, we sell really good quality wines and cheeses and all the rest of it, but it's not stuffy, it's not pretentious. It's nice quality food and just really relaxed environment. But upstairs in Wandering Palette, so downstairs, when we painted the colours and everything, I was a little bit more reserved. But when you go upstairs in Wandering Palette, I really went to town. So I've like painted the ceiling pink, and the walls are a bright green. But that's where I host all my life drawing sessions, and I exhibit my work upstairs as well. So so that's Wandering Palette. But we've, it's been really interesting. It's only been a short space of time, and twice we've been put up for an award, the Manchester Food and Drink Festival Award, like Retailer of the Year. And so we'll find out on Monday. So the award ceremony is on Monday.
Right.
We're up against some big players, so we'll see. But it's just really nice to be recognised for all the hard work that we're putting into it. It's it's, I think people might see us from the outside. It's, it's nice and easy, but we do put a lot of love and effort that goes into everything that we pick. We sample everything. Some people say that they'd like that job of sampling all the wine and beer. Someone's got to do that. That's amazing. But we want to make sure everything in there that we love and proud of. So that's Wandering Palette.
Paul, do we have to record two sections here? One congratulations on the award on Monday, and the other one next year maybe.
Yeah.
We're just happy that we've been acknowledged, because it's like Greater Manchester, so it's big. They're
decent awards. I mean, listen, we're a city that likes awards. I mean, I'm going to start my own next year, just to annoy everyone else. But those awards are decent. The food and drink awards. There are some big players, and they're definitely one of the bigger awards that are taken really seriously by people who go out and about. Well, people who've got money in the pocket. who want to go out and find somewhere else. So it's a really good marketing opportunity as well, you know.
We went to, so they had like a pre-awards night a few weeks ago, and Will and I turned up. We were only going to stay for a while, and when we arrived, it was packed, and it felt so good that, because they're all independents and they're all out supporting one another, and everybody was kind of, it was a great atmosphere, and it was like, after everything that everyone's been through, it was like everyone was there just to really support one another. It was amazing. So next Monday night is going to be a good night. I think there's going to be some sore heads on Tuesday. So
Well, what we'll do is I think I follow them anyway, but we'll follow them all across the social media channels, and if you don't win, we'll just block them. So that's everything we can do. I mean, listen, I voted for you, and
thank you.
Me too. I voted as well.
So
we got 2 votes anyway, Emma.
Well, that's enough, and yeah, no, Will and I, you know, we are really proud of it, and like the thing today, like filming for the community, you know, it's great being there and being part of it. So.
Listen, it's. I mean, I've had in the past retail units, and dealing with the public at that kind of level is really, really hard for so many reasons. And I know obviously you can't say too much, but you know, the public can be really, really hard to deal with, and you know, so and starting off when you've started off, I mean, we were just coming out of the pandemic. Well, you know, as they told us at the time, we were just coming out of the pandemic, and you know, and hospitality's been kicked in the backside, and rightly so in some parts of hospitality, in my opinion. But in terms of the independents, it was a massive gamble.
It was
to do what you did. It takes a lot of guts, because I know what you have to put on the line financially as well as mentally.
Yeah.
To get something like that off the ground. So how did you, have you run a business like that before, a bricks and mortar business, or?
No. But Will has. And the thing, so Will and I we're a great team. We are husband and wife, but we are a really great team because we both bring something different to the table. You know, I bring all my creativity. Will's, Will's a great host, and you know, he's had many years in the drinks industry. And I really value his, I value his opinion on like quality, you know, with his brewery, Manchester Union Lager, it's all just about brewing the best.
Do you say that again? What's his brand called again? Sorry.
Manchester Union Lager.
Manchester Union Lager, is that you said?
And I've noticed that's just won an award as well for the best art beer, best art lager, was it?
The best art lager, yeah. So I'll be honest with you, I was a little naive in terms of how much energy it was going to take, because whatever I've done in my life or career, I've always like give it my all, anything that I do. And I've not done much retail, so it does take up a lot of energy. You know, there's new faces coming in and out all the time, which is amazing. And it's giving that 100% to everybody that walks in the door.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I was just a bit naive how much energy it was going to take. And but it's exciting, like, you know, sourcing new products and what's new, what's happening in Manchester. But it's you know, we've got a good team, and like I say, Will's brilliant. But it does take a lot of graft.
It does, and it's nice to see you doing it out. I mean, you know, obviously you live in that part of the world, but you know, it's not someone who's going to bang this in the city centre, where arguably you could say that you've got that customer base, because you've got all the, you know, the young professionals who are out and about and blah de blah. But you've done it as a proper community, because I don't think the city centre is a community at all. It's too transient.
Well, we opened it selfishly first of all because we wanted to buy some nice wine and crisps closer to home. so that was the main thing.
That's the best business plan I've ever heard.
Why now? Wine and crisps.
So that was our initial concept.
Well, why not? I mean, we set up a charity in the Wetherspoons. Just sat there whinging, saying, "Oh, no one's doing anything. No, they're not. Are they? No, they're not. Shall we go on then?"
And it's kind of, and I have in the past I've got a tendency to like procrastinate and overthink. Where Will is, come on, let's just do it. And we've been together like 9 years now, and that's rubbed off a little bit. Sometimes I'm thinking, oh no, Will, should we do this? Is like, come on, let's just give it a go. So, it's nice just having that cheerleader. Come on, let's try it. If it doesn't work, that's fine. There's things that we've tried in the shop that have not worked. There's things that we've got in that have not sold, and that's fine. And then we just, moved on to the next thing. But for me, it was always really important that I could be creative in that space. So I always do our window art. I do my life drawing sessions are like every couple of weeks. And it's nice to see regulars that come in and like, oh, I'm not sure, I can't draw. And then they'll come to a session and they'll be loving it and they'll be booking like the next one. And there's couples that come in on dates for life drawing to just do something different. So
really,
so it's great. So Will and I get both getting something from that space and both bringing something to it as well. So
just to clear it up, because I'm sure people are thinking this. Why have you not asked Damien or myself to get involved in the life drawing? Because
you're welcome anytime. Like anytime that you want to model, or you want to, if you'd like to participate. Any.
I gave up I gave up booze nearly 2 years ago. So I've never been in better shape. So whatever it takes. Not a problem.
Paul, you haven't got enough room on your LinkedIn bio.
I'll send you some dates.
No, I'm only kidding. I'm backing off big time now. I'm only kidding. No, I think it's. I mean, obviously, I see the pictures that you put up on your socials, and listen, you see the pictures, and they're great. But it's more that you see the smiles on the people, which I just think it just tells you so much. You see the smiles on the people's faces that are there. So it's more than just, and I don't mean this in a demeaning way, but it's more than just coming in and doing the art. It is meeting up, and it's the whole experience. And
there's people, and there's some people that come on their own. We've got a lot of customers that'll come in, that don't have family, and they feel comfortable sitting having a cup of tea with us because they know they're going to get a conversation, a genuine, interesting conversation. Everyone who's part of Wandering Palette will take that time out. So I've encouraged people that are on their own to come along to a class, that have made friends, and everyone. Most people that come to those sessions live locally. So you are. I thank you for saying that. Friendships are made on those evenings as well.
How many do you normally get attending?
So they're really mixed. So they could be from like 10 to 22.
Wow.
He's just trying to work out how many people are going to see him in the news now. And this is from the bloke that blurs his Zoom. He's now offering to be a life model.
Well,
I've not got much life left in me, mate. So my thing is now grab every opportunity, so to speak.
And why not just try something once?
Yeah, try it once. Yeah. No, I'm scared. I'm scaring myself just thinking about it now. Little Ethel sat in the corner staring at me, just thinking, "Oh, what a disappointment! What a disappointment!" I'll draw it.
Have you got a smaller pencil?
All of that would be going through. They haven't got enough time to think of any of that. So what we do is, when we start off a session, we do like a warm-up session. So I give people, we have like 1 minute, 2 minute, and 3 minutes. So this is if you've got more time to think about drawing, and you just won't make a mark because looking at that white blank piece of paper is scary.
Yeah.
So we do a warm-up session, and that gets everyone just, there's no time to think about it, just to draw.
Yeah.
So they won't be thinking what size pencil, well, anything like that. Just, they haven't got enough time, and then we go on to some longer poses. But throughout that whole time, it's the longest pose will be like 10 minutes. So if you did want to model, 10 minutes is not long to stay still.
I can stay still. If I'm sat down, I can stay still for 10 minutes.
Oh,
I have
got
been
a great story about a life model thing. Ian, who we've had on this show, a friend of mine who's an artist, used to do life drawing classes in Gorton. And they had this guy that was older but very well muscular. Right, and they used to get the life models to stand on a box so that people could see. And then this session, everyone finished and all that. He couldn't get off. They varnished the box.
No.
Before he got there, and he stood on it and got stuck.
Oh God.
Oh dear.
Don't varnish your platforms, Emma.
No, I won't. Yeah.
Don't varnish your platforms.
So I know we've. Me and you've talked about this a couple of times, but in all of this craziness and chaos that you've created for yourself, because you only got yourself to blame, we're not letting you off on it. With everything you're doing, how much room have you got to do your own art now?
So when we launched Wandering Palette, like I said, I was a bit naive in terms of how much time it was going to take, and it did 7 days, like silly long hours. But my art is really, first and foremost, it's my purpose, it's my passion. And I just had some honest conversations with Will, and the gentleman that he is, he stepped up even more. So I'm dividing my time. I've got more time in my studio creating now, which is, it just makes me so happy. So Will and my sister are taking a lead in Wandering Palette. So I've got more time to paint, and having that headspace as well made me reflect on the work that I was doing previously before we had opened Wandering Palette. And throughout all of my work, looking back at it, like 90% of it, there's been a thread of Manchester throughout all of my work. It's inspired me along the way in whatever concepts that I'm doing. And so this brings me on to what I've been working on recently, Damien, and what I'm working on now is, because I've had that headspace and that freedom to be back in I call it my den, my studio, to paint again. I was reflecting on my paintings that I'd created of Manchester skyline. And this was quite a while ago now, like a couple of years ago. And I thought, oh God, Manchester's changed so much since then. I want to revisit that work, but I want to give it more. I want to give it more than just a painting. I want to give it another layer. So then I was thinking, so this is when I got in contact with you as well, Damien. We seem to be kind of like on the same, what's the word?
Well, we've been exploring similar themes about identity and narrative, and how things have changed a lot, and have it been in the isolation for a while, and then coming out of it and seeing it all anew in some ways, I think.
Definitely like fresh eyes. And so, I'd done a bit of research, I'd gone into town and, standing around just observing and watching it all, because I'd not given myself that time to do that for such a long time, because I'd just been so consumed with Wandering Palette. And it just felt really invigorating being stood in Manchester, just watching people, like the diversity of it, the energy of it. I was like, oh, yeah, I just definitely want to do my next pieces of work on Manchester. I want another layer. It needs a voice. I want people's stories. How can I do that? And then I was just thinking about Manchester poets. And then we had our conversations, haven't we, Damien? And so this body of work I've been working on, you've helped me, Damien, bring some poets together. So these pieces are documenting Manchester now. I'm making this all a bit muddled. So the poet, like, I gave the poets just one title, which was Manchester. And I said to them, I don't want to give you any more of a brief because I don't want to put anything in your mind. I just want it to be your poetry, your story. It could be the day of life of you, whatever that is. Just, I want you to do a poem on Manchester. So the poets have been amazing, and I'm really excited about all of them. So I've been working my way through them. So I'm painting them at the minute. I've been painting to their voice notes as well. So I'm painting to their.
So you're painting to what their poem is.
Yeah. So.
Oh, right. Okay.
I've had a sign a copy. Yeah. So the poets. So the 7 poets. They've created me a bespoke poem for the exhibition, and they. And I'm painting their poetry.
Bloody hell!
Yeah. I know. So some of it. So this is. So I'm working my way through it. So some of them are a little abstract. Like my style is quite abstract anyway. It's really bold, but this is. I'm just pushing myself to like another level with this. So the work is very different to what I've done before.
I'm really looking for. I mean, I've seen or heard all of the poems. Well, I think most of them.
Oh, they're amazing.
And they're so different, but they are all Manchester. I get that. So I can't wait to see what you make of them, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So I just, I hope I'm not going to let the poets down as well. Like, as I keep on painting and painting and painting and painting and going over and adding more layers, and then I'll get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and go and have a look at them and stare at them, and then keep adding more and more and more layers. And like, yeah, so there's lots of layers in all of these paintings. My style is very, very childlike and quite naive, very playful, lots of texture. And so to some people, it might look, I've just thrown a bit of paint at like a canvas, but it takes me actually a long, long time and process to get to that point. So I've been using like acrylics and Posca pens and spray painting. And
there's a real mix of poets there. There's Louise Masson, Brian Dunn, Lisa O'Hare, Romina Ramos.
Yeah.
Concannon, is it?
Yeah, the Thursday Poet and Oliver James Lomax. So they've all got a really different voice, and it's interesting, like what Damien said, how they've taken it from different starting points.
Do you know, actually, before I forget, I went to the Royal Exchange to watch something. First time I've watched something there in my 52 years, and I'm sat there and I'm thinking, I'm looking at this guy. Wasn't hammered. It was brilliant, by the way. If you get a chance to see it, Glass Menagerie, best thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, I'll write that.
And I'm looking at this, and I'm sure that's Matt Concannon, and he's kind of looking at me, and must have better eyesight than me. Anyway, long story short, when he's coming out, obviously it was him, and we're chatting. Not seen him for ages. And he was really, I think it was the Thursday. I think he'd been with you or he'd been speaking with you. Listen, he's an enthusiastic guy anyway, Matt, but he was genuinely loving it because he's been away from Manchester working. He's come back. He wants to get, back, get his creative juices going again. And he was like, oh, I'm loving it. It's great idea.
That's good.
Yeah, so I just wanted to, before I have an habit of forgetting stuff, but yeah, no, he was genuinely chuffed about it.
Oh, thank you.
I'm really proud that out of conversations we've had, Emma, about collaborations and how artists should work with other art forms and stuff like that. And then, I mean, really, when you think what it is, and I've just sat here thinking about it, it's a really ambitious project.
I know, don't like overwhelm me, Damien. I know.
No, but
it is.
We've made it happen. Do you know what I mean?
If I'm going to do something, if I say I'm going to do something, I will always complete it. So there's been times where I've I've gone down to my space and looking at the paint and thinking, God, is it good? Is it not good? What else do I need to add to it? And I think for me as well, I'm wanting to create work which is authentic to me, but also I don't want to let the poets down as well. So I'm thinking, I've not said this to them yet, so I don't know whether to just leave it all as a as a surprise on the night, and I could see happy or disappointed faces.
No,
I don't know.
No.
don't
Leave
listen
it
to
as
what
a
they tell,
surprise.
mate. They knock these poems out in a couple of minutes. Do you know what I mean? So don't be there. Oh no, they've been writing. They've been in this angst and drinking the absinthe and really, they just all these poets. We know them all, and they're all good people, but they knock them out for fun.
I
They
wish I
knock
could
them out for
have
fun,
been yeah.
and they will love whatever. When I say whatever you do will be amazing, I'm sure. But it's just
It's giving them something different as well, Emma.
100%.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely putting a lot of energy
people,
into them.
They told the spoken word nights all over Manchester. It's the same people at all the events. And it's all, this is different, and this is what should be happening within the art scene. This is what Manchester's all about. It's mixing it up,
It's going to be. It is going to be a really fun night. So, so it's going to be at the Carlton Club, in Whalley Range, and I love the Carlton Club again because it's. I've had an exhibition there before last year, but I love the Carlton Club just because it's a building that's got lots of character, and it's a community. It's a community organisation, and again, it just fits really well with everything that I believe in.
And when is it again, Emma?
So this is going to be on the 20th of October. It's going to start at 7 o'clock, 7 till 11. If you can stay up that late, I usually go to bed at 10. So
I'm usually asleep by 8:30 these days. Emma,
So 20th of October. But no, it's going to be a fun night, and because I've met everybody. I've met Matt and Oliver, but I've not met everybody else in person yet. It's all been on Zoom and by chat. So I'm really looking forward to seeing everybody in the same space and with our work together. So on the night, all the poets are going to recite their poetry while the exhibition is.
Oh, I knew there was a downside.
Oh no, it's going to be brilliant.
No, it's just my little poetry joke. No, I think it's. So
there's going to be lots.
They're all top people. They're all great performers.
Yeah. So it's going to be great. Just the artwork on the walls and them reciting their poetry.
Is there a bar?
There's a bar. There is a bar, and Manchester Union Lager are going to be. It's only limited, but there's going to be a certain amount of free booze on entry.
Oh, cool! Poets do like a drink.
So, and then we've got Chris Massey from Spectrum Music. So he's going to be DJing on the night as well in one room. So the exhibition's going to be in the green room. The bar is in the other room. And he's going to be DJing there. So there's going to be lots of different things going on.
How do people get tickets?
So this Friday, I'm going to launch tickets on Eventbrite. So this Friday.
How much are the tickets?
It's going to be a free event, but there's limited tickets because it's only like a certain capacity. So
right,
it's going to be a brilliant night. So it's going to be a free event, lots of fun, booze, art, poetry, and music. What else do you want?
Absolute cheese, wine, and crisps.
So no, it's. I am excited, but like what you just said before, Damien, it is kind of with the timing as well, time frame. Yeah, it is a big task, but it's going to be amazing, and it's going to be bringing different people together.
Mate, how many people
scare you? Then I was giving you credit and saying,
No, when I have those feelings, I have to take a deep breath and go, no, just focus on this one canvas. Where are you going to put the next brush stroke? Focus on this. So just,
there'll be loads of people who come up with ideas all the time, mate, and never carry them through, for all sorts of reasons. But generally, it's because they don't care enough. In my mind, they just think, it's not worth it, or I'm not getting enough out of this. Certainly with creatives, through Matt Made and everything, I deal with all sorts of creatives and what have you, and I'm not perfect, but it is really, really hard to get them to get creatives to work together and promote each other, even if they're non-competing.
Yeah.
So the fact that you put this together again with Damien is massive. There's a great group of people there, and it's a great idea to get, if you can get a handful of people turning up who've never really been to a live art show before or never been to see a poet before, then that to me is exactly what it's about. It's getting that new audience in.
Yeah, it is going to be an incredible night. And going back to what you were just saying there, being a creative, it is kind of, when you are working for yourself, I have massive respect for creatives in whatever field, because you've got to do the work. You've got to do the development. You've got to push yourself. You've got to learn and grow. And, for 18 years, I was a fashion designer. I did my degree in fashion and the fashion designer for 18 years. But I always had this itch to do my artwork. So I stepped away from a really good salary. I had a really good position, but I just thought, I've got to attend this scratch. And it was kind of like earning my stripes again, like working out, what do I like? Because for such a long time I was designing for people and designing to briefs. And then suddenly right, okay, yeah, I can do whatever I like. What do I like? So it was a long process of working out, what's your personal style without anyone, and it is bold, bright, colourful, scratchy, and playful, and childlike, and that's okay. It's but it does take the work. You have to do the work, and you're just creating it for yourself first of all. So you're not getting paid for it. You're creating work just because you have to do it. Like
Paul said earlier, though, Manx Spirit and what Paul does with MankMade, we're forever meeting people that say, oh, I want to do this, or I want to do that. And both of us are exactly the same way. Go on then, we'll help you.
Yeah.
And the amount of people we call out like that then find loads of excuses. Whereas, like I've said to you before, I totally admire you and Will for you've had these ideas and you've gone and done it.
Nutcases.
Not cases, probably not cases. I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like I've still got so much to do. Like, I feel like I've still got so much work to create. And like I say, it's just making that time to just produce it and develop it. While I'm painting, I'm always thinking of something else. I'm like, oh yeah, there's that and that. Maybe I could do this. So, yeah.
Can you remember the first piece that you sold? So when you gave up your job and you started doing your own thing?
Yes, I do actually. It was a friend of mine. He commissioned me to do a piece for. Oh, no one's ever asked me that question. A piece for his wife for her 40th birthday, and it was from one of their favourite holidays. It was in Peru, and I felt so happy. But I spent so much time on it because I just wanted it to be perfect. Yeah. And when he handed it over, there was tears, and there was So that was the first piece that was sold, and that made me really happy. So yeah, and every single piece that's sold, it's kind of do a little happy dance every time one's gone. It's just a nice feeling knowing that someone is got your work up on their wall, and just
I don't think there's anything when you're trying to create something from nothing, from a blank piece of paper, no matter what it is, and they put it up there for people to judge, and I couldn't give a toss what people think about anything that I do because I do it for myself, and then you see where it goes. But it's massively personal and especially I think so with art, because everyone thinks they can draw to some extent, and everybody has at some point through school and stuff, and so they can be extremely critical. So to do something and put it up there and say, what do you think, when it's so subjective, it's a massive.
I think, yeah, it is, and I think that's why it took me probably about 3 months to put pen to paper for myself. And Will's like, just what's wrong with you? And I'm like, I just, and I think because it was so personal, I didn't know where to start. I didn't know what I wanted to say. And so it took me a while to find my voice. And I had a pop-up in Sale a couple of years ago, and it was a gallery studio with.
I remember it. Yeah, I went past it. I lived past. You wouldn't recognise that place now. It's completely changed.
Oh yeah, it has.
Yeah.
Well, the developers got Amanda and I into that space to start the ball rolling with creativity in that area. So we did a lot of like community workshops, creative coffee mornings, live drawing sessions there as well. But the reason why I mentioned that was because, you know, there'd be times where customers would come in and look at the work and they'd be like, looks like a child's drawn that. And, you know, it took me a long time to feel comfortable. Actually, that's my work. And it really excites me to paint like a child. Like, so I've got to that point, like, yeah, I like painting in bright colours and scratching and like, just, you know, I love it. It excites me. It doesn't excite me painting like pictorial, like exactly how you see it. I like all of that fun and colour.
Now piss off and get out of my shop.
But it took me a long time. But I would never say that. Maybe I'm just too that. Maybe I'll get to the point where I'll just say, you know. But so it's great that you feel comfortable with. You're happy whatever you put out there and whatever anybody else thinks, you know, it's there.
Oh no, I mean that's definitely an age thing as well. When I was younger, not, you know, so, you know, I have anxiety quite bad, and I've done for years. So you have that kind of thing in the back, but you just get to a point where you think,
this is me.
Do we really care? I mean, you know, no, I don't care. And you can, and straight away I used to go back. Well, what have you done? And you could say that to anyone else. Well, what have you done? What have you done? But then occasionally you get someone who turns around and goes, well, actually. and then you go, all right, fair enough then. But no, I mean, everyone's got an opinion. And that's social media, mate. People are far too free to give out an opinion now, especially when it comes to art, when you think, what do you know? I mean, you can feel what you want and like stuff, don't like it. Fair enough.
Yeah, but that's what you said. It's their opinion, and it's their opinion.
Yeah, who cares?
So that's the exhibition.
So what are your plans? We don't want to keep you too long because obviously you've been working all day. But what are your plans going forward then for the Empire?
So for Emma Evans, so Will's like, you know, Will's always got an idea. I'm like, I'll like just keep him to yourself for a little bit. I just want to paint it for a bit. No, he's great. He's got such a great mind, and he's always up to something and thinking of something. But for me personally, I just want to keep on painting. I want to keep developing that. And that's Flynn, my dog. But people have taken.
Oh, that was my stomach. I actually thought that was my stomach rumbling. I've just moved away from the mic. That's your dog.
So it's been night. So Flynn's doing his job, his security guard job. So my plans are to keep on painting, to keep on developing that. And my big goal is to one day have an exhibition in a really, Flynn, really respected gallery in Manchester.
Right, so pick a gallery.
Manchester Art Gallery, like I'd feel so proud to one day like to exhibit in there. So what are my plans? To keep on painting and developing, because that's what I'm supposed to be doing. That's what makes me really, really happy. So for me, that's what I want to do, and that's what I'm going to do.
Right, we'll go and see them then in a couple of weeks because they've got
quite simple. It's not simple because I feel like I've still got so much to do.
But that's the way you've got to feel. That's the only thing that gets you out of, not the only thing, but one of the things that gets you out of bed. It's just like, I mean, with me, it's being old and just knowing that, you know, the shit I want to do now, I've got to get it done. I can't be doing what I was doing in my 20s and go, oh, I'll get onto it. And, you know, so part of the reason for giving up the booze was just to have a little more energy to concentrate on what I want to do, because, you know, we're nearer the end than the beginning, but you've got plenty of time.
Oh, no, I think I'm definitely in your age category. Like, definitely.
I don't think you are.
I've just got to put your makeup on. It's like, definitely in the same tick box when you're filling out a form, I'm sure.
Oh, well, all right then, maybe.
That's my, to continue painting and still loving the workshops. I'll always want to be involved in that.
Good.
Just continuing that kind of that ripple effect. Okay, so I feel like I'm jumping from one thing to another, but I was with the Lowry Young Artists yesterday, and the projects that I did with them was stories of inspiration. And even though they were young, like 15, 18 bracket, but I was getting them to reflect on themselves and their gifts and what they're good at. Because I never did, no one never sat down with me. Mum and dad did a great job, but like was really honest. Like, you know, what you're good at, what do you like, what do you want to do? Do that. Don't worry about anything else. So that was my main goal yesterday. And they were just so honest and really went for it. They were amazing. And so I'd like to continue doing things like that. So as well as doing my artwork, just continuing that ripple effect. So hopefully whoever, you know, if that takes inspiration, we'll continue and pass that on. So those are my two main things.
That's massive. At that age, I think it's just massively important, more now than ever. Ever. You know, having been the owner of three of them, it's really hard to, certainly when they get into that age, to inspire them to do anything, especially clean a room, but to get them to do something like life changing,
to reflect,
and ask them the question as well, which is what the big thing with us is. How many times is, you know, because parents are busy, and it's like, how many times has somebody said, well, what do you actually want to do?
Yeah, what do you like?
What do you like doing?
Yeah.
That was I mean, and that made me think, when I was younger, all I ever did was sat there sketching constantly. And I remember my aunt at the time, because my mum and dad, I'd said, you get a job, you go there whether you like it or not. You know what I mean? That was it. But my auntie, who passed away when she was 42, she came round and noticed, and she actually turned up one day with a full set of Caran d'Ache pencil crayons, which were very expensive at the time.
Yeah. And
she said, I've seen you doing the drawing, and she gave me these pencil crayons. And I swear to this day, she's my inspiration for doing that. So much
love there, yeah.
So that one person recognising some creativity in me and then wanting to encourage me to do it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I must admit, I don't draw anymore. I don't do anything like that. But the charity, setting up projects, all the things that I do, I'll go straight back to our Eileen and, give her the credit for that, for doing that.
Nice. Yeah, it's important. So they're my goals. So
well, listen, mate, it's late. You've been working all day. We haven't. Well, we have. I have.
Well, I have. Yeah.
So listen, Emma, working with you is always great.
Thank you. Likewise.
And it's great that you're a mate and you're a mate of the charity, and we'll do loads more stuff together. When someone listens to this in 2 years' time, the fact that the event is only a few weeks away won't mean anything to them. But I'll get this out as soon as, and we'll use it as promo.
Thank you for your support.
To get people out there. And thank you so much, mate. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. It's exciting, isn't it? I've loved tonight's conversation. It's good to talk.
See, I said to you, it's not hard. We weren't going to be horrible to you.
Well, I was, but he sent me a message before. I said, "Don't be horrible to Emma. Don't get Emma crying," because normally someone always ends up crying. By the end of it, when
No,
we do these
I couldn't
interviews.
imagine that.
No, we've had some.
Can I take a picture before you go?
Of course you can, yeah.
Gorgeous.
Before I forget, sorry, Emma, because not our last festival that we're doing is in Salford. And obviously with the shop being it is in Salford, isn't it?
It is,
yeah. Can you just give us a few words on what you think of the area? I don't know if you're from there originally. I don't think you are you?
No, I'm originally from Leeds, and then I came to Manchester to do my degree, and then fell in love, and then never left. But where I am in Salford, it's amazing. It's a great community, lovely community spirit, and yeah, there's just so much going on as well. It's really green. We've got the canals close by. The high street is amazing, really hustling and bustling, lots of independence. So no, yeah, it's a brilliant energy, great community, and there's a lot of support from locals. People want to support local independence and get together. So the festival will be amazing. I'm looking after the Monton notice board as well. So like, if you want me to put some bits in there, I can do, because everyone, we get a lot of people coming into Monton as well, just like at weekend to go up the Loop Line, and a lot of visitors. So that looking at the notice board, so I can pop your posters in there as well.
Do you know what? We know some very powerful people, but I don't think anyone's ever made us an offer like that. Yeah, I give you offer. I can give you. Yeah. Well, now you've made the offer, so I'll make a note of that.
Oh.
Notice board. Right, listen, mate. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And speak to you soon.
Great seeing you.
Thank you.
I'll get that stuff over to you next day or so.
Oh, thank you, Damien. I really appreciate both of your time and energy.
No worries.
Thank
Same
you, mate.
Same to you as well.
Thank you.
See you later.
Take care now.
Bye.
See you later, love.
Bye. Thanks for listening to that Great Mank pod. Please do us a massive favour and subscribe to this podcast. And if you can, leave us a review on iTunes. Both are a massive help, enabling us to promote the people and the great causes we champion to a much bigger audience. If you want to get in touch, give us a follow on Twitter at Great Mank Pod and drop us a DM. Cheers.
You're listening to That Great Mank Pod, Greater Manchester's community podcast. Top one, argue.